Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Good morning. Welcome to today's service. I'm Dina Ito. Oh, sorry. Better? Okay. Welcome to today's Shotsuki Service. My name is Dina Ito, and Ellen and I are representing the 4th and 5th grade Dharma class. Please join me in Gasho. Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Nam.
Please rise if you're able for the reading of the Three Treasures led by Reverend Matt.
Three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriad of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namanda Butsu.
Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu.
We will now chant the Sambujo. Reverend Yuki will read the Shotsuki names for the families who have submitted them earlier. When your loved one's name is read, please come up to Oshoko.
Samge.
「
Samge.
「
Samge.
」
Samge.
「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 」 「 " 」 " 」 " 」 " 」 " 」 " 」 " " 「 " 」 " 」 " " 「 " 」 " " 」 " " 」 " " " 「 " " 」 " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " " "
く無常釈迦如来にうど上三へ無常実法如来にうど上三下Now I will read the Shotsuki monthly memorial name which are submitted, and I will omit the prefix. Akira Myoshin Ono, Henry Nishikawa, I mean honorifics, Reiko Kurahara, Junichi Yamamoto, James Noboru Adachi and April Kazumi Adachi, Molly Otto, Masami Iwasa and Hisako Rose Iwasa, Genichi Tanaka, Hiromu Sasamoto, Kiyoshi Ishimoto, and Yoshinobu Koga. And now, during the sutra chanting of Amida Kyo, Amida Sutra, you will see the names on the screen. And if you see your loved one's names on the screen, please come off for incense. It doesn't have to be the family members. It could be the friends who offer incense. And I have to add one more name to it, too. Sam Isamu Ito, and is Stuart up there? Okay. And Alice Kataoka. Now we will chant Amida Sutra, which is on page, let's see, 50? 53. Amida Kyo 요새 가문 이치지붓 나이샤의 곡기적기 고독 온요다이 비크쉿 생이학고증인 크카이세다이아라칸 슈쇼지시키 조로샤리 헛마카 목겐넨 마카카쇼 마카카센넨 마카쿠지라리 하타슈리 한닥 난다 난다라고라 교본하다이 빈스르 하라다 가르다이 마카고힌나 아쿠라 누르다 요세토 쇼다이 대시 묘쇼보삿 마카삿 몬주시리 호오지 아이따 보사 겐다 가다이 보사 조쇼진보사 용요세토 쇼다이 보사트 규샤쿠다이 감닌토 무료쇼 텐다이 슈긍이지부트고 조로샤리 헛주세사이 가즈만노 그붓노 세가이 묘왓고 그라그고도 우붓고 아미다 공겐자이 세포샤리 이도가 고묘이고 그라그고 거그슈조무 슈그 단주쇼라그 고묘고 그라그샤리호고 그라고그도 시지즈란준 시지즈라모 시지즈고즈 가이세시호 슈소잉요세고익 묘왓고 그라그샤리호고 그라고그도 으시뽀찌 하크도 그스이슈만고즈 지다이증 본샤흐지 시행가이로 공건르리 하리고 조조으로 가그야그이 공건르리 ハリシャコ釈州名の義言直視地中連芸大行者小式小公王式王公釈式釈公白式白公未明公決者利北国ら国道上従業空読将軍武者利法非仏国道上佐天学黄金二次中夜六時義勇曼荼羅五国修上上位昇丹各位英国上州妙家供養他法十万の部即位時期次元と本国本時期協業者利法国ら国道上従業税空読書武士者利法非国上右修十奇妙雑式市長白国空弱法務者利下領便学名市長税商州長中夜六時水和芸音合音年長合根合力七宝大分八正道分業税東方合同州門税恩義開始年仏年俸年相者利発名元医市長実税財宝少々小医者非仏国道無三幕宗者利発合仏国道小無三幕道市名画教実税小州改税阿弥陀仏抑量法温泉流変芸少佐者利発非仏国道未風水道小法号牛法羅網水未明音非行百千十学道寺空佐門税恩開示年上年仏年俸年相死神者利発合仏国道上従業税功徳将軍シャリホンお行い運が非仏が古語阿弥陀シャリホン非仏公明無料正直報告無償証下税公合意阿弥陀ウシャリホン非仏寿命牛語人民無料無変な葬儀公公明阿弥陀シャリホ阿弥陀仏成仏以来王根実行シャリホ非仏無料無縁正門弟子海やらかん非税三十四章の地所殺州薬部行税シャリホ非仏国道上従行税空読将軍シャリ法国ら国道修上少者改税阿弥バッチご中他右衣小不ご主人他非税三十章の知識単価無料無変阿葬儀公設シャリホ修上門者応答ホトが干渉非国小医者が特用行税症状全員空営一生シャリホ不可小前言副徳院特商非国シャリホ脈全難死全用銀門説阿弥陀仏修持名号脈一日脈二日脈三日脈四脈五日脈六日脈七日一心不乱五銀臨明十字阿弥陀仏幼少小寿現在午前全員十字神父天道即徳王阿弥陀仏極楽国道シャリホが健税利公摂死言脈修門絶拙者応答ホトガン消費国道シャリホト妙が根者三段阿弥陀不可思議空読逃亡薬阿宿美仏趣味総仏愛趣味仏趣味公妙音仏妙税統合が社修正仏格王合国水光上絶相返風三千大先生説明実言用等修上等身税賞賛不可思議空一切小仏称号年行シャリホ南方正解右日合当仏妙門公仏大円見趣味当仏無料小 上人物行政統合が社州小物各王合国水耕上絶相偏風山大先生会節量実言行等修上等身で小三風化市議空読一切勝負称号年業シャリホト裁縫正解無料十部無料総物無料道部大公物大名物放送物上皇物行政統合が社州小各王合国水耕上絶相偏風三千大先生会節量実言行等修等身で小三風化市議空読一切勝負称号年業シャリホト北方石右縁見物最小音物南小物日小物農名物行政統合が社州小各王合国水耕上絶相偏風三千大先生会節量実言行等修等身で小三風化市議空読一切勝負称号年業シャリホト芸宝石牛氏物名門物妙高物脱馬物報道物地方物行政統合が社州小各王合国水耕上絶相偏風三千大先生会節量実言行等修等身で小三風化市議空読一切勝物称号年業シャリホト情報石ウボンノン物宿王物工場物高校物大円見物雑式法慶言神部シャラ十王物法慶徳物県日祭儀物尿州未戦物尿税統合が社州小各王合国水耕上絶相偏風三千大先生会節量実言行等修等身で小三風化市議空読一切勝負称号年業シャリホト行為運河加工名医一切勝負称号年業シャリホト脈前南市全四門で勝負小説名旧教名社税小前南市全四人会一切勝負通称5年開徳風大天王はノクタラ山脈三宝大税公シャリ法行東海真珠が合義勝負小生シャリ法逆人イホトガンコンポトガン東ホトガン翼小阿弥陀仏国税小銀東開徳風大天王はノクタラ山脈三宝大王非国道脈異小脈根性脈投資税公シャリ法小前南市税業人脈信者応答ホトガン消費国シャリ法行が根者小三勝負風化市議空読非小仏と薬小説が風化市議空二差税言釈迦麦仏の異人南慶雨指示の王シャバ国道合塾アクス合塾権塾煩悩塾修上塾明塾中徳はのぐたら三脈三宝異小修上節で一切政権南進司法シャリ法統治が王合塾悪性行師南徳はのぐたら三脈三宝大一切政権摂氏南進司法税異人南仏政司教位シャリ法義小美空一切政権天人アシュラと文仏諸説寛義真珠サライニコ仏説阿弥陀経ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等 Namanda, 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 Nam.
Please rise for the reading of the Golden Chain, which will be shown on the monitors and led by Sensei Kelvin, followed by a Dharma talk by Rev Yuki.
Please join me in reciting the Golden Chain found on page 5 of our Purple Service book. Golden Chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida
Namo Namanda. Namanda. Please be seated.
Happy New Year, everyone. And welcome to today's first Sunday service of the year 2025. And, I hope you enjoyed the winter break. Did you? Your school starts tomorrow or Tuesday? Tomorrow? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I guess many people sleep in during the break so that it'll be tough to wake up in the morning when the school starts again, right? Then, to wake up in the morning, what do you use? Energy? Oh, that sounds like Pokemon. You need the energy to do something, huh? How about this? No, it's old style, huh? Old school. But, you can use cell phone, you can use your watch, you can use another type of clock that, that set the alarm to wake up in the morning, right? And then the alarm tells you what time to wake up or reminds us of the schedule of the day. That's what I need. Sometimes I forget, so I put the alarm on my, cell phone to remind myself, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. So some people might not wake up in the morning, by the sound of the alarm. Just like my sister, younger sister, she never woke up, even though she set the alarm. But, so this might not be a perfect metaphor, but the Namo Amida Butsu we recite is just like an alarm in the morning, calling us to wake up. And then when we are upset, Amida Buddha calls us to rethink why we are upset and then try to stay calm. When we are in sadness, Amida Buddha teaches us that we are not alone. So just like the alarm wake us up in the morning, please rely on the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha to wake us up in the daily lives. And we recite Namo Amida Butsu to appreciate the working of Amida Buddha. So I will conclude the Dharma School talk here today with Gassho and Nembutsu. So please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. And now for the adults, I received this from Sensei Grace this morning. It's too cute not to share with everybody. Do you see it? Maybe you don't see it from far away, but it has onenju. So I will put it here so you can see. It's so cute. So this is the beginning of our 126th year as the Buddhist Church of Sacramento. And I'm sure that many ministers in the past tried to explain the teaching of Buddhism, and what Jodo Shinshu teaching is about. And I don't know how many times ministers and members mentioned something like Four Noble Truths or Eightfold Noble Path, Amida Buddha, and Nembutsu in this Hondo. And then the other day, I was reading an old Buddhist book in the Plaza Buddhist Church office, which were published in 1950s. So it's 70 years ago. The book was using the terms like holy name of Amida, the mercy and love of Amida, and something like that, and which makes us imagine the different religion. Then I don't know when and who started to avoid using these terms, but now we don't use the words like holy name or love and mercy of the Lord, that kind of thing, right? And this reminded me of when Christianity came into Japan, in medieval Japan. When the Bible was first translated into Japanese, translator translated Deus, or God, as Dainichi. Dainichi. It could be mean like great light or great wisdom, but the word Dainichi specifically means Vairochana Buddha. So can I have my screen? So if you go Nara in Japan, there is a great statue, big statue of the Buddha in Todaiji Temple. This is Vairochana Buddha. So missionary to Japan felt how faithful and devoted Japanese people are. They never heard about the teaching of Christianity, but the people in Japan put hands together to the missionary. But the truth is, in Japan, Japanese people first thought the missionary came to spread the teaching of Buddhism to Japan because they were using the term like Dainichi. So later, missionary realized the mistranslation of the word Deus to Dainichi and changed the translation to Kami. Kami. But, from this episode, I am assuming that the first impression of English-speaking people around 1950s reading the English translation of the Buddhist text probably felt like, oh, this is some variant of Christianity. So translation is just like a living thing, and it keeps changing the words, and I feel that it is the way of translation should be. And when Buddhism came into China from India, Buddhist monks started to translate a Buddhist text from Sanskrit or Pali into Chinese. But not the one single translation was the end of translation. So like the Amida Sutra today we chanted, there are another version of Amida Sutra. So there are two Amida Sutra existing right now. The larger sutra is the sutra we rely on. So Juseige or Sambutsuge is part of the larger sutra. It was translated 12 times in China, but only 5 left. And then we are using one of the translations of the larger sutra. So this shows us how the Chinese people felt the need of keep updating the translation. So thinking about the basic teaching of the Buddhism, Four Noble Truths, right? Four Noble Truths. What is the first truth of Four Noble Truths? Life is tough. Yeah, that sounds good too, right? Often translated as life is suffering, right? That is the first truth of Four Noble Truths. And this translation comes from the kanji character which was used to translate the original Sanskrit word dukkha. And then this kanji means suffering or bitter, but the word dukkha has the meaning unpleasant, uneasy, uncomfortable, difficult. And there is no meaning of suffering in the original word. So, unpleasant, uneasy, and uncomfortable or difficult experiences might be a bitter experience, and we could call it a suffering. But since suffering could imply to the physical suffering, I try not to use the word suffering to express dukkha. And many times I use unsatisfactoriness or the state of feeling uncomfortable or unsatisfied. Then, if using the word suffering, which was not in the original word's meaning, was allowed in China, I thought dukkha could be translated or more accurately to say that interpret the word as delusion. Delusion. Because what we think as unpleasant, uneasy, or uncomfortable is oftentimes it is not universal, but only applies to the individuals. So what the Four Noble Truths is explaining is the cause from the reality. Cause from the reality. We are in the state of delusion because we rely on the self-centered wisdom, self-centered judgments. So when I was in 20s, I played in a rock band and often played in a city called Osaka. So when I first drove to Osaka from Kyoto, Kyoto and Osaka is like right next to it. So I could get to Osaka easily. So, I thought on the way home from the place I played music, I thought it'll be easy to go home. And it usually takes less than an hour if the traffic is not so bad. So I didn't look any maps or anything. Back then, I think it was like iPhone 1 or something, right? So I didn't have iPhone yet. I had like a flip phone and no GPS on it, and my car didn't have GPS. I had map in the dashboard, but I was too lazy to pull it out, right? So I thought, it was easy to come here, so maybe easy to go home. But it's dark outside, right? So it's totally different feeling. So then I found myself lost in Osaka. I was driving the same spot over and over again, about 30 minutes. But I was still thinking that, I can find my way home, right? But after 10 more minutes, I finally gave up, stopped at one of the convenience store, and asked the way to Kyoto. すいません、ごめんなさい. Please let me know. Please tell me the way to Kyoto. And then the store worker told me the way, and finally I was able to go back to Kyoto. So in our lives, oftentimes we rely on our wisdom, our own judgments, our own emotion. But the Buddha is teaching us that it is the state of delusion. It is the state of delusion. That is like losing our way to the truth. Just like I lost my way home from Osaka to Kyoto, just by relying on my self-wisdom. So the Buddha teaches us that our self-centered judgments, like good or bad, like or dislike, right or wrong, only causes the delusion. So I have shared this before. You probably remember this, but I'm not a big fan of cilantro. I can eat it, but I don't like the smell of it. So according to the Buddhism teaching, this is the emotion or judgments I created myself, right? What I think as not so good smell could be the smell somebody really like. So I am just creating the delusion of cilantro through my self-centered judgments. And this is really important thing to realize in this chaotic world. What I think as right might be wrong to for somebody or vice versa. So instead of forcing somebody to believe in a certain way, we need to respect each other's opinion. So one of the Jodo Shinshu scholars named Rev Jitsen Kakehashi said something like this. We never realized that afflictions, such as the three poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance as afflictions, until we encountered the teaching of the Buddhism. But now we have encountered the teaching and started to realize these things as afflictions. So until we have encountered the teaching of Buddhism, we never thought that we are using our self-centered judgments and creating something we like or dislike. And we never thought this is the delusion we create. So by relying on the wisdom of the Buddha, we aim to be awakened. And this is the latter two of the Four Noble Truths is teaching us. And in Jodo Shinshu, we are taught to fully rely on the wisdom of Amida Buddha in the working of Namo Amida Butsu. And we are called to be awakened in Namo Amida Butsu. And instead of relying on our self-centered judgments, stop one time and think about how we speak and how we act through receiving the wisdom of the Buddha in Namo Amida Butsu. So this is what Four Noble Truths is teaching us. And as we consider ourselves Buddhists who are the student of the Buddha, we follow the guidance and the calling of the Buddha to be awakened from the delusion. And since today is the Shotsuki or monthly memorial service, let me conclude my talk with saying this, but thinking death as the end, or separation as the permanent separation, is also the delusion we create. Buddha, or our teacher, teaches us that death is actually the birth in the Pure Land, or birth in the realm of enlightenment. And physical separation is not the permanent separation. Our loved ones who have passed away before us attained Buddhahood. They are manifesting various forms to guide and teach us. So they are always together with us. So don't worry about our, where our loved ones goes or where we go after we die. They changed the form, our loved ones who have passed away before us. They changed the form, but they are always together with us and guiding and teaching us through various forms. Okay? So I hope that today's talk was somehow helpful. And in closing, please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Nam.
Thank you, Reverend Yuki. Our closing gatha will be Shinshu Shuka, which will be displayed on the monitors.
thought, oh, maybe I just arranged the gatha into something more modern, and then this is one of the attempts. Yeah, thank you.
You may be seated. Okay, please join me in Gassho. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows, like a shadow that never leaves. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Nam.
If we have any guests joining us today, we welcome you and thank you for coming. At this time, are there any announcements?
Good morning. Should have sat on the other side. Anyway, so next Sunday is going to be the first kid Kodomo Taiko class. It's going to be right after service until about 11:30. So if you would like to come, please come on through, kids.
Hi, my name is Nancy, and I lead a class for exercise stretching, senior stretching. If you're 65 and over, I advise you to take some stretch classes so you don't get atrophied muscles. We want to have good posture and breathe deep. That's one of the things we try to learn in our exercise class. We have it on Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 o'clock, 9 to 9:30. And then after that, 9:30 to 10:30, we have a Tai Chi class, which is good for your balance. And as you get older, your balance is challenged. So this is a good way to increase your balance for the rest of your life. Now, this is my target audience, all you retired people. You have something to look forward to on Wednesdays and Fridays, 9 o'clock to 9:30 for exercise at 9:30 to 10:30 for Tai Chi. And all those people who didn't make any New Year's resolutions, this is when you should make. See you there. Bye.
I have a couple of announcements. Fourth and fifth grade students that are in our class, please remain in the Hondo after service. We'll be practicing something. And then I have an announcement from Reverend Bob and Reverend Patty. They're starting a new program called Sangha Without Borders. The following was written by Reverend Bob describing their new 6-session monthly program. The first session will be this coming Thursday, January 9th at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. Please RSVP to Betsuin Programs at BuddhistChurch.org to get the Zoom link. And from RB, this is what he wrote. After retiring in 2016, Reverend Patty and I were invited by the Speaker of the California State Assembly to become the first Buddhist chaplains and the first husband and wife team to serve in this capacity. Knowing that many, if not most, of the legislators and staff may have had little exposure to Buddhism, we tried to share the Dharma and our Dharma perspective as simply as possible. We had always tried to make our presentations sensible, but we knew we had to try even harder. Looking back, we truly enjoyed our 4 years representing Buddhism to our state assembly. In our Zoom program, we hope to share our experience and give perspective on the reflections we prepared, especially the backstories that inspired our thoughts. We hope you will join us as we reflect on our 4 years as serving as the Assembly chaplains. So remember, it's this Thursday at 6:30 and RSVP to Betsuin Programs at BuddhistChurch.org to get the Zoom link. Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes our service, and you're all welcome to Oshoko.